Good morning, all. Today we are going to see about the topic the structure of the ear. So, the ear is composed of three parts: the outer ear, the middle ear, and the inner ear. So, we will see one by one. So, the outer ear. So, the outer ear, the pinna is the visible external part of the ear that funneling the sound waves from the outside into the structure of the ear. So, the pinna is also the entrance to the auditory canal, the short tunnel that runs down to the tympanic membrane or eardrum. When sound waves hit the eardrum, they cause three tiny bones in the middle ear to vibrate. So, the outer ear is composed of pinna, auditory canal, and tympanic membrane or eardrum. And the second part is the middle ear. The middle ear is composed of hammer, anvil, and stirrup. The three tiny bones in the middle ear are known as the hammer, anvil, and stirrup. The vibration of these three bones amplifies the vibrations from the eardrum. The stirrup, the last bone in the chain, causes a membrane covering the opening of the inner ear to vibrate. So, this is the picture of whole ear. So, this drawing shows the entire ear beginning with the outer ear, pinna, ear canal, and eardrum. The vestibular organ includes the semicircular canals and the otolith organs inside the round structures just above the cochlea. So, this picture shows the middle ear. So, sound waves entering through the ear canal cause the eardrum to vibrate, which causes each of the three bones of the middle ear to vibrate, amplifying the sound. The stirrup rests on the oval window, which transmits its vibration to the fluid in the inner ear. Third part is the inner ear. This membrane is called the oval window and its vibrations set off another chain reaction within the inner ear. So, the inner ear is composed of cochlea, basilar membrane, and the organ of Corti. The inner ear, first we will see about the cochlea. The inner ear is a snail shaped structure called the cochlea, which is filled with fluid. When the oval window vibrates, it causes the fluid in the cochlea to vibrate. This fluid surrounds a membrane running through the middle of the cochlea called the basilar membrane. Second part of the inner ear is basilar membrane. The basilar membrane is the resting place of the organ of Corti, which contains the receptor cells for the sense of hearing. When the basilar membrane vibrates, it vibrates the organ of Corti, causing it to brush against a membrane above it. On the organ of Corti are special cells called hair cells, which are the receptors for sound. So, this is the picture of the organ of Corti and fluid in the cochlea and basilar membrane. Large spaces are filled with fluid that is shown in this purple color that vibrates as the oval window vibrates. A thin membrane suspended in this fluid is called the basilar membrane, which contains the organ of Corti, the structure composed of the hair-like cells that send signals to the auditory cortex of the brain by way of the auditory nerve. So, this is the picture of organ of Corti and hair cells. A close-up view of the basilar membrane in dark pink color with the hair cells of the organ of Corti in lighter pink color. Notice the axons leaving the hair cells to form the auditory nerve. When these auditory receptors or hair cells are bent up against the other membrane, it causes them to send a neural message through the auditory nerve, which contains the axons of all the receptor neurons and into the brain. Where the auditory cortex will interrupt these sounds, the transformations of the vibrations of sound into neural messages is transduction. The louder the sound in the outside world, the stronger the vibrations that stimulate more of those hair cells, which brain interprets as loudness. So, next we are going to see about perceiving pitch. So, pitch refers to how high or low of a sound is. For example, the bass beats in the music pounding through the wall of your apartment from the neighbors next door are low pitch. whereas the scream of a 2-year-old child is a very high pitch. So there are three primary theories about how the brain receives information about pitch. So the first one is place theory, second one is frequency theory, and the third one is Wally principle. So place theory is based on an idea proposed in 1863 by Hermann von Helmholtz and elaborated on and modified by von Bexey. Frequency theory was developed by Rutherford in 1886, states that pitch is related to how fast that basilar membrane vibrates. And the third principle is Wally principle, which appears to account for pitches from about 400 Hz up to about 4000. In this explanation, groups of auditory neurons takes turns firing in the process called volleying. If a person hears a ton of about 3000 Hz, it means that three groups of neurons have taken turns sending the message to the brain. So the first group for the first 1000 Hz, the second group for the next 1000 Hz, and so on. Thank you.